Hi everyone, I'm Alejandra, and today I'm doing part 3 of the Unearthly series review. I'm doing the third and final book in the Unearthly series, Boundless. Okay, so if you have not read the first or second book, I suggest you stop this review right now and go read it. Alright, you have been warned. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, back to the review. So, the events in Boundless, of course, take place after the second book. You know, her mom's dead, her brother's still missing, Clara and Tucker are still broken up, which I don't know how to feel about that. Like I said in the second review, I liked them together, I just didn't like them together. And Tucker actually ends up being kind of a jerk to Clara when she turns up in his barn. Though it's understandable they had a really messy breakup. Though Clara seems to be handling everything that's going on pretty well from what I'm seeing. Yeah. So in the third book, she's going off and going to college. And who shall accompany her but Angela and Christian. And Clara decides to actually give Christian a chance, which I feel so bad for him. Oh, poor Christian. Just poor Christian. Yeah, Clara, she's really trying to give Christian a chance. It's just, it turns out super awkward. They go out on a date, they're trying, but Clara just can't seem to get Tucker out of her head. And it's just really sad, and I feel really bad for Christian. Though, to be honest, with how things are turning out, I'm surprised that Kay didn't turn up. And, yeah, I honestly was expecting Kay to turn up, start some drama, something along those lines, but she didn't. And, yeah. What else happened in this book? Oh yeah, you get more information on the Black Wings and stuff like that. Okay, you actually get more information on Sam and his backstory with Claire's mom, which is kind of, I end up feeling really bad for him. In the second book, I didn't feel bad for him at all, but reading the third book, you kind of understand his viewpoint and you do feel bad for him. At least I did. Yeah, and you actually get to see the mom again, and that just made me really happy. Yeah, because like I said, the mom's my favorite character. She's awesome, and and how this happens is that Claire's powers are more developed in this third book. She's developing her powers more, and one of the things that she can do now is she can go back in time. So she's sent by Sam to get a story from about the mom because he misses her because she died. So she goes back in time and she ends up actually meeting her mom, and they talk and they have this heart to heart. And she explains the backstory. The mom explains the backstory between her and the relationship she had with Sam. And yeah, I liked her. She was awesome, and it was sweet. And that was it was sweet. It warmed me up inside reading that. What else happens? Oh yeah, Angela's pregnant, and that mysterious guy apparently turned out not to be human at all. He was like angel. He was an angel blood. And Angela's just getting in some deep trouble. She actually finds out that she's pregnant, and she's like, okay, I'm pregnant, and I think this has something to do with my destiny. I think that I have to go and talk to him and tell him that I'm pregnant with his kid. So that's what she goes and does. And she actually ends up in hell. And yeah, like I said, she gets in a lot of trouble. And Clara and Christian have to go and rescue her from hell. And to be honest, that was really interesting. I thought the concept of hell was really interesting. How those people didn't know that they were in hell, but it was just the same thing over and over again, and they're just bland, and it was sort of depressing if you think about it. They're just forever, like, never moving forward, just stuck in the same place. I thought it was like, yeah. She goes in there, and I thought it was interesting that you have to bring somebody along that can be your anchor and not let you get caught up in this hell and not know that it's and just keep you anchored there. And she, of course, goes with Christian down to there to get Angela. And while they're in hell, they actually find her brother. Her brother actually ends up being in hell also. And of course, Clara is having none of that. She knows she shouldn't be doing this. She goes and bursts in there, and she saves her brother. And at first, her brother's reluctant. He doesn't know that it's hell in the first place, and he thinks she's crazy. After a little bit of convincing, though, she breaks out the glory, and she saves everybody. They end up back in Tucker's barn, which of course is a big mistake, but it got them out of hell. And while this is all going on, you kind of find out that Christian and Angela are related, but that's kind of glossed over. And Tucker ends up being there in his barn. He shows up, and I forgot the name, the other Blackwing who's there. He follows them to the barn when they escape, and Tucker ends up being there, and it's just like a big scene. And Claire ends up bringing the glory again, stabs the other Blackwing with a glory knife, I believe. I'm just going to call it that. I forgot what it was called. A glory knife. She stabs him with that, and he poofs. And the daughter is upset. She's like really upset. She grabs Tucker, and she like starts flying around all crazy, like she's gonna kill him, because she can sense that Clara has feelings for him. And she ends up dropping Tucker over a lake like 50 stories high when they're flying, and Clara dives for him into the lake, and they end up being in like this curtain heaven thing. She's trying to save him, and she knows he's dead. And at first, when I read this scene, I was like, no, I refuse to read it. That was my initial reaction there, was just, I refused to read it. It was so sad. It was just so sad. It was one of the saddest scenes in there, because Clara's just crying, and he knows he's dead, and they admit that they love each other again. And you're like, she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. It's the bright future. I love you. And they admit that they love each other. And I honestly didn't read the book for a couple of days because of that scene. I thought Tucker was initially going to be dead. But surprise, surprise, Clara ends up saving him with the glory. Yeah. And how do I say this? Christian ends up giving up on Clara after this, and he just leaves. Tucker ends up being okay. She saved him, and she saving Tucker, and she's apparently, it was said that she poured her glory into him, and Tucker ends up being turned into like this prophet thing, and he gets visions and stuff like that. So he's not an ordinary human anymore. And then it goes into like a 5-year fast forward. Angela is still sort of in like this rehab. Well, she's not really in rehab. Like, she still has some scars, literally, from when she was in hell. But she's taking care of the baby. She's getting through it. The baby grew up. And apparently, Christian got a job. He's still gone. He doesn't show up a lot. And Clara and Tucker are together, and they're married. Yay! Okay, so my feelings about the book. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to trash this book. I know people are gonna hate me for this, but I did like it, don't get me wrong. It's just, it seemed like everything got resolved too easily. You know, like, Angela's in hell. The brother's missing. They're both in hell. You know, got out of hell. They got out of hell really easily. From my opinion, the triangle resolved just like that afterwards, and you know, just it's just a happily ever after thing. I don't know. I feel like it could have been dragged. I think it should have been dragged out more. You know, realistically, I don't think Christian would have, from my opinion on this character, you know, maybe I don't know the character as much as I think, but from what I've seen, he wouldn't have given up that easily afterwards. You know, because of everything he went through, I think there should have been like some more feeling remorse than him just, you know, disappearing. And that just seemed resolved really quickly, and everything just was wrapped in a nice little bow. Not that I didn't like it, but like I said, I believe it could have been dragged out a little bit more. I would have liked it better, especially if they went on more with the other side characters. I would have liked to know some more, especially about like her brother, that character. His character really interests me because of all the stuff he was going through. I would have liked it if she made I don't know, some more scenes with him, or there could have been more, I don't know, just stuff like that. Overall, this series is good. I liked it. It's worth the read. I liked the first book the best, and it was kind of, I don't know, I would give it like a solid 4 out of 5, because I do think there is some things she could have improved on, like the endings and stuff like that, and the characters more, you know, flesh them out. But that, of course, in my opinion and my review on it. So yeah, stay tuned to the end of this video, because to celebrate the last part, I'm actually going to be doing my Dreamcast at the end credits. And it was really hard to pick out who I wanted for who, but I think I made the right choice. Again, this is all my opinion. If this ever became a movie, who I think would fit the roles the best. I've been staring at a sunset sky
All the wonder just fills my eyes. Everything inside of me is bursting out. I believe the same one who paints the clouds is the one who turned my life around. You've given me a melody, a song to sing. You're not looking at where I've been, not looking at what I've done. You're taking me as I am. It's a beautiful love, beautiful love. All you give, I'm gonna give it to all I see. 'Cause what I'm seeing is you and me. It's a beautiful love, beautiful love. Beautiful love, beautiful love. It's kinda crazy when I think about what you've done and what you're doing now. Oh, every day your mercy saves. When I get lost, you make a way. All the love that you've given me goes beyond the sky I see, the ground below, the in-between. Lord, I believe